On that quiet morning, the city of Seoul woke up slowly. Glass buildings reflected the rising sun, and traffic moved gently, as if the world itself was holding its breath. It was the kind of morning where everything felt possible, the kind of morning where lives were about to change. But no one could see it yet. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your engagement helps build this community and ensures more meaningful stories reach people who need them. Inside a grand wedding hall, white flowers stretched from wall to wall. Crystal chandeliers glowed softly above rows of perfectly arranged chairs. Guests whispered in admiration, cameras ready, smiles rehearsed. This was not just a wedding. It was a union of power, wealth, and carefully planned futures. A day designed to look flawless. In a quiet room nearby, a man stood alone before a mirror. Kang Min-jae adjusted his tie slowly, studying his reflection. He looked calm. He looked successful. But beneath the tailored suit lived a man who had learned how to bury his past. Today was meant to be the final chapter, or so he believed. The phone vibrated in his hand. Once, then again. Min-jae frowned slightly, glancing at the screen. An unknown number. On a day like this, nothing unexpected was welcome. He turned the phone face down. Some calls are ignored. Others refused to be. Years earlier, life had been simpler. Min-jae was not a powerful man then. He was just a student with dreams bigger than his wallet. That was when he met her. In a university library filled with silence, laughter broke the rules. Amara smiled at him across a table filled with books. That smile stayed longer than it should have. They walked together through narrow streets at night. Streetlights followed their footsteps like quiet witnesses. She spoke about hope. He spoke about plans. She believed love could survive anything. He believed love needed permission from the future. Neither knew who was right. Reality arrived without warning. Family pressure, money problems, fear dressed as responsibility. Arguments replaced laughter. Silence replaced promises. And one night, Min-jae chose ambition over honesty. He walked away. Amara sat alone, holding a phone that never rang. She waited, but some goodbyes are spoken through silence. If you're enjoying this story so far, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share where you're watching from. It helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you powerful stories like this one. Back in the wedding hall, the air felt heavier than before. Min-jae's phone vibrated again, louder this time, as if it refused to be ignored. He stared at the screen, his heartbeat syncing with the buzzing sound. Unknown number. Somewhere deep inside, a familiar fear began to rise. He stepped away from the noise, away from the smiles, away from the future waiting at the altar. And he answered. At first, there was silence, then breathing. Slow, unsteady, the kind of breathing that carries pain with it. Please, the voice said softly. You have to listen to me. Time folded in on itself. That voice had lived in his memory for years, even when he pretended to forget. Who is this? He asked, though his chest already knew the answer. I didn't want to call, the voice replied, but I don't know who else to turn to. I'm at the hospital, she said. Those words landed harder than any accusation. Min-jae leaned against the wall as the wedding hall blurred behind him. I'm in labor. The sounds of celebration around him felt distant. Like a life, he was no longer standing inside. He swallowed hard. The baby, he said quietly. There was a pause on the line, long enough to feel like judgment. He's yours. The phone slipped from his hand. Gasps rippled through the room. Guests turned. Whispers spread faster than truth. At the altar, the bride's smile faded, showing confusion before hurt. Min-jae's mother stepped forward, her face tight with concern. What's happening? She asked. But there were no simple words left. Only consequences. Min-jae picked up his phone. His hands trembled. Then he turned away from the altar, from the flowers, from the life that had been carefully built for him. He walked down the aisle alone. Cameras flashed. Doors opened. And just like that, the wedding day ended without vows. As the story unfolds, I invite you to pause for a moment. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know where you're watching from. These small actions help support the work behind the scenes and allow more stories like this to be shared with the world. The hospital smelled of disinfectant and urgency. Bright lights reflected off white walls as Min-jae rushed through the corridor. Doctors moved quickly. Nurses spoke in calm voices trained for emergencies. But nothing felt calm to him. Every step echoed with regret. Every second reminded him of time already lost. He saw her through the doorway, lying on a hospital bed, breathing through pain. Amara turned her head slowly. Their eyes met. For a moment, the past and present collided. "You came," she whispered. The room filled with urgency. Machines beeped in steady rhythm, measuring time in seconds and pain. Amara clenched the sheets, breathing through each wave. Pain rose, fell, then returned stronger. Min-jae stood near the wall, unsure where to place his hands. Every sound reminded him that life does not wait for apologies. The nurse spoke gently, guiding the moment forward. This was happening. Now, when the doors closed, silence followed. Min-jae sat alone in the corridor. Bright lights, cold benches. Time stretched painfully. He thought of the years he missed, of birthdays that would never be celebrated again, of questions a child would one day ask. Some regrets arrived late, but they arrived heavy. A cry pierced the hallway. Sharp, clear, alive. A nurse stepped out, smiling softly. "It's a boy," she said. The words landed gently, but changed everything. Inside that room, a new life had begun, and an old life quietly ended. Min-jae stepped into the room slowly. The baby was wrapped in white cloth, resting against Amara's chest. Tiny fingers moved without knowing the world. Min-jae leaned closer. The child had his eyes, his jaw. His silence broke. Tears followed without permission. For the first time, wealth felt meaningless. "I didn't come back for money," Amara said quietly. Her voice was calm but tired. "I came back for truth." Min-jae lowered himself beside the bed. "I was afraid," he admitted. "Afraid of losing everything." She looked at him steadily. And in running, she said, "You lost more." Silence followed. Honest silence. Outside the hospital, cameras gathered. Headlines spread faster than understanding. A wedding canceled. A child revealed. A powerful man exposed. Min-jae faced the microphones. "I failed once," he said. "I will not fail again." Days passed. He returned quietly, held the child carefully, not as an owner, but as a learner. Recovery was slow, not the kind that happens in hospitals, the kind that happens in quiet moments. Amara watched from a distance as Min-jae learned how to hold the baby. Awkward at first, careful, present. He did not speak much. He showed up, and sometimes that mattered more than words. Weeks later, sunlight replaced hospital lights. They sat in a small park, away from cameras and expectations. The baby slept peacefully. Min-jae spoke quietly. "I won't ask you to forgive me," he said. "I'll ask you to watch me change." Amara listened, not convinced, but no longer closed. The future stood between them, uncertain, fragile. "You don't have to stay," Amara said. "I learned how to survive without you." Min-jae nodded. "I know," he replied. "I'm not here because I have to be. I'm here because I choose to be." Silence followed, the kind that weighs decisions. Time passed. Slowly, deliberately, Min-jae remained, not as a rescuer, as a father, as a man learning humility. Amara allowed space. Not forgiveness, but possibility. Some endings are loud. Others arrive gently. As the sun lowered, they walked together. No promisi spoken. No past rewritten. Just footsteps moving forward. A child between them. A future unwritten. And the understanding that sometimes life does not give second chances. It gives responsibility. If you enjoyed this video, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us where you're watching from. Your support helps these stories travel farther, reach the right hearts, and keep voices like this alive. Every like and comment truly makes a difference.